Good morning, Monarchs. Welcome to the first video for lesson 6.3, day 1. Today we are solving linear systems by combination. So what we call combination, okay, and you'll see why we call it combination. So the first day we did graphing, yesterday we did substitution, today we're doing combination, okay? So in combination, we're just combining our two linear equations together to eliminate one of our variables, solving for the other variable, and then plugging back in, okay? So we have some pretty easy steps to follow on the right here, you'll see, but we're gonna go over the top first. So we are solving systems by linear combination, okay? So here's our general rule. If we add and get a zero, then we're happy. If not, we make opposites. So I'm going to highlight that in a different color, actually. If not, we make opposites, okay? And we'll show you how to do that as well. All right. So our directions are to solve each system using linear combination. So example 1 here, we have 7x plus 2y equals -6 and -5x minus 2y equals 10. So our first step here is to add the two equations together. Okay, so all I'm going to do is draw a line underneath these two equations and add them together straight down. Okay, if you look, our x is already lined up with our x's, our y is already lined up with our y's, and our constants already lined up with our constants. So we can just add right away. Okay, so we have -6 plus 10. -6 plus 10 would be 4. Okay, 2y minus 2y is 0, so those cancel out. 7x minus 5x would be 2x, so we get 2x equals 4. Okay, did you get a 0? Yes, we did, right? Our y's canceled out. Our 2 plus 2y minus 2y came. We got a 0. So now we're going to solve for x. Okay, so now we're going to solve for x. You see we have 2x equals 4. We're going to get x by itself. Okay, so the next step is to solve for x. We're going to do that by dividing 2 on both sides of our equal sign because that 2 is multiplying our x. So we're going to divide by 2 on both sides of the equal sign. So that cancels out, and I get x equals 2. Okay. So once I have solved for x, I plug in x to find y. So we plug in x to find y. So we pick one of our two equations. We can either pick this equation or this equation, and we're going to plug in our x that we found everywhere we see an x in order to find y. Okay, so I'm going to use the top one. I'm going to come down here, and I will rewrite my problem down here. All right, so we have 7. But instead of x, I'm going to plug in my value I got for x. See how it's 7 times x, but I know what x is because I have a value for x. So instead of x, I'm going to plug in a 2 because that's what we determined x was. So it's 7 times 2 plus 2y equals -6, okay? And now we just solve for y, okay? So 7 times 2 is 14. So I bring down my plus 2y equals -6, okay? So I want to get rid of what is not attached to my variable, which is that positive 14. The way I do that is the opposite. The opposite of a positive 14 is a -14. So I'm going to subtract 14 from both sides, okay? I'm going to rewrite this up here for us. So 14 minus 14 would be 0. I'm left with 2y equals... and -6 minus 14 would be -20. Okay. Now to get y by itself, I know that that 2 is multiplying my y. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Okay. So that cancels out. I get y equals -10. Okay. So my x is 2. My y is -10, so that's my solution. I fill in my x for my x spot and my y for my y spot. So over my x, I'm going to put 2. And over my y, I'm going to put -10. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at this next example. It is a try it. So if you guys would like to, go ahead and try this one on your own. Okay, so take some time, try it on your own, pause the video. In the next video, I will go over this example. I believe there's an example on the back as well. So we will go over that one in the next video as well. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video for lesson 6.3.